The main reason that some people level up faster than others is simply because of just one thing that they changed. I'm starting to see a lot more people, a lot more overnight millionaires. I'm starting to see different people just like changing their lives in an instant, and you'll be like, bro, I've been working so hard, I've been doing all of this, like, why can't I change my life? The reason that is simply because the people that are changing their life very fast, like, oh, it almost looks like overnight success. They changed their identity. They knew what it is that they wanted to do. They became that person. Your mind actually has to believe that you are that person, if that makes sense. You actually have to live like that person on a day-to-day basis. In order for you to get those results that they have, you actually have to become that person. And even for me, right? Let's just say content creator. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to become. Uh, in order for me to be successful at it, I have to live exactly how somebody that's successful at that thing that I'm doing lives. I have to become that person on a consistent basis. It's not a one-time thing. I can't just say, okay, today I'm gonna post 10 videos a day, but then tomorrow I don't even post at all. You have to make it a lifestyle. It has to become a part of you, like second nature. That's one of the things that I'm starting to see, when it comes to overnight success, when it comes to people, wanting to change their lives in an instant. And another misconception that I'm also seeing is that success takes time. If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. It's not all success does not take time. You know, it honestly depends on what it is that you want to do, but it's not success does not take time. That's why you see people out of nowhere. They just come out and just you know they're millionaires, right? And that's part of the reason why you also are not successful, because you already have this pre-connotation in your mind that success is going to take time. And just because you think that it's going to take time, like, I don't think you understand. If you believe that, okay, you're going to have to wait 10 years, 5 years for you to have this level of success, like, if that's what you believe, that's what's going to happen. The power of the power of the mind, whatever you believe is what will actually happen. So if you want, I'm not saying you're going to have fast success. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in order for you to even get to the level of success that you want, you have to believe that you could get it, like, right now. You have to believe that you already have it. That's the type of mindset you should have. You should have said, okay, I'm gonna give myself 6 months for me to get this level of success, and then you don't get it. Like, that's not what you want to say. You're not gonna say, I'm gonna give myself six months or a year to get what it is that I want to have. You should already have a mindset that you have it. You live like that person on a day-to-day basis. And once you start to live like that, like, bro, you start to see things just appear out of nowhere. The deals that you want, the contracts, all that will just begin to just come to you. And another mistake, bro, you cannot say that you want this type of life. You can't say that you want the life of success and all of that, but you're still living, you're still thinking, you're still acting like the old you. Like, everything that you knew about yourself has to go out the window. I see a lot of people say, be yourself, bro. You have to create yourself. You have to create the person that you want to be. You can't be somebody that was bad, be somebody that puts you in a terrible situation. Because the be yourself, the old self that people are trying to tell you to be like, gang, that old self puts you in a bad situation, puts you in a bad predicament. And you have to change that. You have to become, create yourself, create the best version of you. And the best way for you to do that is to it starts up here. It starts with your mind. It starts with what you do on a day-to-day basis. What you're thinking about, what you're watching, what you're putting into your body. And the moment that you start trying to fix all of that, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, life becomes so much better. You start to live so much at peace with yourself, with other people as well. Now, I do want to be clear with the whole believe and thinking thing. Belief alone is not going to get you to that point. Changing your identity is not going to get you to that point. It takes consistent action, consistent work on a day-to-day basis. Think about what makes you yourself right now. Uh, let's find, let's say you're funny. If you don't tell jokes, if you don't act funny, if you're not actually doing things to make you funny, you can't live up to that identity. No matter how much you think it, no matter how much you actually try to believe it, you have to have action that backs that, consistent action on a day-to-day basis. Because think about it, the friends that you hang out with that call you funny, they see consistent funniness from you. They see consistent action that backs up you being funny. So if you say you want to be the best content creator and you're not showing any, you know, action behind that, like you're not going to be successful at, like you're not going to get that thing that you want to get. Like it takes consistent action, believing that you actually are that thing, and just like continually just going day in day out, no matter the results. You know, you also have to detach yourself from the results. You know, have the goal in your mind, but detach yourself from the results. Because like you don't want to get attached to the results, because results are up and down, but your work is constantly is a constant movement. You just want to keep on just going. You know, results are always up and down, but you don't want to be too attached to them, to the results, to the outcomes. Focus on the input that you put in, because you can control that. You can control the consistency and all of that. Now the thing is, even though a lot of people know this, know to believe, you know, dream, achieve, all of that, even though people know that, the reason they still feel stuck or are still stuck is simply because, you know, they keep switching back and forth. Uh, Bro, what I'm starting to understand is it has to be consistent. You cannot feel motivated one day and then another day, you know, you don't want to do it. That's part of that. Those are part of the things that I'm talking about. You cannot feel motivated one day and then another day you don't feel like doing it. You keep switching back to the old you that puts you in a bad predicament, that puts you in a bad position. And a lot of people tend to negotiate with themselves like, man, okay, I'll give myself two hours, I'll do it in 2 hours. Like, why are you negotiating with somebody that puts you in a terrible situation? That's like negotiating with the devil. You already know that you were put in a bad situation. You already know that this version of you put you in a bad situation, and you are negotiating with it. Like, when you actually start to think about the person that you're negotiating with, and you know the situation that they put you in, like, start looking at your past self as like the worst human being of all time. And that's like, you start to change. You start to, okay, I don't want to be that person anymore. You know, you wouldn't even have room to negotiate with them. At the end of the day, it all starts with you just knowing, you know, deciding, and just like, once you decide, you cannot move back and forth. I see a lot of people trying to go back and forth with it. Like, no, you can't go back and forth. You have to decide and just stay on that track, stay on that path, you know, stay on that side. If you choose to go against your old self and become the best version of yourself, you have to just you just have to stay on that side. You know, ignore the feelings. You know, that's one thing I'm starting to learn. You have to ignore the feelings, because feelings will always deceive you. You know, they might tell you to text that girl back. That doesn't do you any good, man. What was the quote? Fast change is not magic. It's simply just consistent action.